Kevin Harvick as he enters this weekend in a situation where he will have to win if he wants to still have a chance at winning the championship next week. Every time he's been in that position, he's been able to do it.
Yeah, yes, he has. You heard him say it, on his first run, that was a pretty good run for Sticker. So you would assume that this is the second time out on that same set of tires. We'll see if he moves up the board. The first lap, he did not move up the board.
Yeah, but that's a better first lap compared to the first time.
Down here.
Oh, he's done.
And that'll do it for Kevin Harvick with just under 4 minutes to go. They'll bring it back into the garage. Let's go there now with Dave.
And Rick, the 19 of Carl Edwards, in 11th and finished with practice. And in a comfortable position. The crew tells me he's comfortable with the balance of the car. They've been trying a few things this week because they're comfortable with their position in the chase. One of two winners already locked into going to Homestead. So no panic down here. We'll see what happens in qualifying later today.
Interesting. No panic.
Imagine that.
We talked about how pressure-packed this chase has been. It started that way for Tony Stewart. He was able to make the chase, and this is final season. These will be the last two races for Tony Stewart in the Sprint Cup Series. A 45-year-old out of Indiana has won here before. He was all the way back in 1999.
Rick, I think when Tony Stewart looks back on his final season, while he isn't competing for a championship as I'm sure he hoped, I think there was a question mark, and I'll put my name on the list. I didn't think this 14 had a chance to win a race this year. They didn't show me anything early in the season that said they were going to be a contender. They proved us all wrong with a win at Sonoma, entering Tony Stewart into the playoffs in his final year. And while the playoffs didn't go as he had hoped, I think he's going to look back on this as an enjoyable final year, I would hope. Back to the form of successful enough to get to victory lane.
Yeah, we talked about Harvick being on the right side of the board. But Kyle Busch, he's only 24th fastest. This team has some work to do as well. That moved him up to 19th. This will be on his second lap of this run.
He's won here before, but it was back in 2005.
This is how he gets back in the throttle.
After getting into one, same thing.
Very aggressive on new tires. You heard the big difference on new tires versus old tires like you saw in practice or in qualifying trailing versus non, but only up to 19th. You heard him say that, not very good. So that's concerning for this team. 19th fastest. It's not what they were looking for.
It'll be interesting to see how qualifying unfolds later this afternoon. It's Joey Logano again trying to advance into the championship four. Have a shot at his first ever championship. Carl Edwards will be running for his first championship. He's guaranteed that after the win at Texas. Jimmy Johnson will be going for his 7th championship. He was able to win at Martinsville. He comes out here and currently 18th quickest in this practice session. Martin Truex Jr. in the 78. Brings that car back.
Damage, a lot of damage.
Pit road, and it looks as though they hit the wall fairly hard.
Definitely got it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's taking the lettering of both sidewalls, front to back. That's heavy damage. That's not something small. There has to be some concern for the chassis when you see that much contact.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks where if you get out of the groove at this point in the weekend.
Whatever out with the inheritance.
Yeah, he's already stripping everything out. Whatever, that means they're most likely they're going to a backup car. That's what that sounded like to me. But if you get out of the groove at this racetrack, it is very, very slick, especially this time of the weekend. Early in the weekend, no rubber laid down in the second lane at all.
The red and black flags have been displayed, and it looks as though they're going to be bringing out the backup for the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. smacking the wall here at the end of this practice session. Take a look at the chase grid and where everyone ran in practice. Coming up next on NBCSN's F1 practice from Brazil, we'll back with live NASCAR coverage from Phoenix at 4:30 p.m. Eastern with the Xfinity Series final practice, followed by NASCAR America and then Sprint Cup qualifying at 6:30 p.m.